It's time to finally let this game have its day in the sun. Hey guys, this is Bill with NSPC3, and today we are finally tackling the Mortal Kombat franchise. And in this video, it's Mortal Kombat 1 on the Super NES, and this is card number 94 in the collection. So there really isn't a whole lot to say about Mortal Kombat that we don't already know about. We all know it was mainly responsible for the creation of the ESRB, which is the rating system used to determine game ratings for video games even to this day. It was obviously a direct competitor to the Street Fighter franchise, and with the birth of this game, the rest is history. It led birth to an entire franchise that is still creating games to this day, running very, very strong. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to just get right down to the action. So let's go ahead and flip this thing over and get to it. Okay, we've talked about this challenge quite a few times, and now we're finally going to tackle it for real. Pro Challenge states, how far can you get on the medium difficulty level without using any special moves? On Pro, we need to get up to Goro. So obviously that means we don't have to beat the entire game, although getting to Goro is pretty dang close. It's the penultimate fight. And I will say that if you don't know what you're doing, this is actually a pretty difficult challenge. Heck, even if you do know what you're doing, the AI can be pretty cheap and cheesy, and you're going to see when you watch this video, even though I know the game fairly well, playing against the human is one thing, but playing against the computer, they play downright dirty and cheap. And sometimes, no matter how well you do or how well you strategize, it really doesn't matter. Fair warning, this is not a flawless fight. There are a number of deaths that I incur in here. Like I said, the AI is fairly cheap and cheesy, so we gotta cheese it right back. Alright, sit back and relax and watch Mortal Kombat 1 on the Super NES. Alright, here we go with some epic commentary on this game. Alright, so really quick off the bat, you can tell this is on medium difficulty, so there is no trickeration going on. Something else you probably noticed, that there is no sound in this video, and that is because of an oddity or a glitch in recording the sound, so I've decided to strip it away and replace it with something else. As far as character selection, it really doesn't make that much of a difference, although I've chosen to go with Kano because, in my opinion, he has the best jump kick with the best hitbox in this game, so there you go. As for the battle plan, obviously we have to get up to Goro. We don't have to beat him, we just have to get up to him. In my opinion, the toughest aspect of this fight is the endurance battles. Alright, with that being said, you're going to notice that there are various characters that are easier to beat than others, and obviously the further you get in the game, the harder it's going to get, and the cheaper the AI is going to get. Now you're going to see that we're having a little bit of a difficult time here, and that's mainly because we're just demonstrating the cheapness of the AI right at the start. But as you can see here, what we're going to do to cheese this, and yes, it can easily be cheesed, all you got to do is back up all the way to the end, to the wall, and do nothing but jump kicks. Now, even still, you got to be careful because, once again, the AI is pretty cheap, and even with this strategy in tow, sometimes they will still get hits, and they may beat you on occasion. There will be times later in the tournament ladder where not only do you have to back up to the wall, but you also need to hold down that block button and wait for them to back up toward you, because if you don't, you're going to get hit with projectile spam. It happens quite a bit here. So back up to the wall. First couple fights, not a big deal. You may even be able to go on offense in the first few fights. Take the fight to them, throw uppercuts, sweeps. In fact, you can do nothing but sweeps in the first couple fights and get away with it. We're just kind of playing it cheesy and cheap here. So yeah, no special moves. That's the key thing with this. No special moves of any kind. You can do fatalities if you want to. It's kind of pointless though. There's really no need for it. So that's the first fight down. We got Scorpion done out of the way. In my opinion, the toughest of all of the basic characters to fight, on this difficulty anyway, is Raiden, and that's just because of his projectile spam and the Superman attack that really comes out of nowhere, catches you off guard. You gotta constantly have the block button ready to go on mash here. Sonia's not that big of a deal. You can see her projectile coming a mile away, so if you do see it coming and you're not backing up, feel free to just give her a jump attack. That's how much of a delay there is in her projectile, so not too big of a concern. We're just going to back up all day long. Kano gets another easy win, and it's more of the same. Kano, as I said, in my opinion, has the best jump kick in this game, which gives him much better priority over many other jump kicks and every other attack in this game. So I may be wrong on that. Again, this is just opinion, but it's what I've seen given my numerous hours and attempts of playthrough on this game in both competitive and casual gameplay here. So we're just backing up, and as you can see, the uppercuts tend to whiff a lot more on later rounds and later fights. So that takes care of yet another fighter. We're through Sonia without much of an issue. We're going to start moving into more difficult fights pretty soon here, and the next fight that we got coming up is going to be SubZero, and in my opinion, he is the easiest of all of the fighters to deal with, and that's mainly because his projectile doesn't do any damage. And yeah, you got to watch out for the slide, so you can't be trying to cheese uppercuts and sweeps because that slide will go right through you here. So SubZero, definitely the easiest of all the opponents to fight. I always breathe a sigh of relief anytime he's up on the agenda on the tower, so don't be surprised if you get a whole ton of flawless victory here. And this should be very much the same. So that's one down. We got another one to come. Should be a double flawless here if we play our cards right. Let's see what happens with this fight. Keep on backing up. Pretty easy stuff. Well, gotta be careful still. Get a nice cheap uppercut in there and just keep backing up, jumping. Wait till he gets especially close. If you mistime the jumps, not just SubZero, but any of them will throw a projectile in and they'll still catch you. And the problem is, if they catch you with a projectile later into the tournament ladder, they'll not only hit it, but they'll move in for a throw and throw you out of the corner, forcing you to either do a crossover jump in to get back into the corner or waste time backing up into the other corner. Here's a test your might. Really doesn't matter if you pass it or don't. I intentionally failed it just to get to the next fight. So we are 3 fights in, moving into the next one, which is Liu Kang. Liu Kang is not that difficult either. So the nice thing about him is, yeah, he's got a fireball. You got to watch out for that. But he also has a flying kick, and if he does it, there's a number of ways you can block it and counter it. So flying kick, you can counter it with a, well, uppercut sometimes hit. Usually he's just out of range of those. What I tend to do with those is a standing high kick or a roundhouse, if you have the courage and the timing to get it off. So here you can see we really didn't have our timing in tow, so we took an L there. We're going to move on back up. There's the flying kick, counter with the standing high kick. That's usually how you're going to get them. Yeah, standing high kick is pretty good for easy, cheap damage. Back on up. Wait to counter. Yeah, later in this tournament fight, any kind of knockdowns that you get, always have a stand block ready because you don't know what they're going to do. And those throws are really cheap. It can throw you off. Yeah, standing high kick is beautiful to counter that flying kick by Liu Kang. Never want to be cheesing that in the tournament or against a human opponent because it's easily punishable. Alright, Liu Kang, it looks like he learned his lesson. He's not going to fly and kick us, so we're just going to keep on backing up. You got to be careful not to jump away from him because he will throw those projectiles and flying kicks without fear. There's another one, standing high kick counter. Yeah, just walk back. That's the easiest way to get out of the way safely, is the walking back. The flying kick, counter with a standing high kick. Alright, we are now in the safe projectile zone. Liu Kang still hasn't learned his lesson. He's going to be taking a trip into the spikes any second now. Here we go. Boom. See you next fall. Alright, 4 down. We got 3 more to go. 2 more basic fights and also the mirror match against Kano. And then a series of endurance rounds here. Now, I did say that this was not a flawless tournament run. We will be seeing some losses here. And we're not really too concerned with those because you do have a number of continues you can use. So don't feel bad if it's not flawless. Those continues are there for various reasons. And we can see Raiden, in my opinion, is the toughest of all the computer opponents to fight without a special move. If you get back into the corner and you get your timing right, you should be okay, but you want to get back there with little damage because he will spam lightning bolts, and those will chip away at your health. He gets you caught in the corner, and you can take some serious damage here. You can move in for those low kicks, those low toes, as you know, or he'll throw you out of the corner and mess your whole day up. So we do get the victory in that first round here. That is the cheapness, and the toughest thing to worry about is the Superman. So if he gets in and does that, it could be pretty tough. Although the Superman can also be countered by a flying jump kick. So it's not that big of a deal. We do get a standing uppercut in on him. And yeah, this can be where it gets really annoying. Those flying lightning bolts, he can throw 3, 4, 5 at a time if he really wants to be cheesy and cheap. And he's going to probably get a win on us here if we're not careful. Ooh, we got him on danger. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, we basically had him on danger, so we could do whatever we wanted. Alright, we got that victory on Raiden, and that's a tough one, especially in the endurance fights. That gets really ridiculous, depending on who he's paired up with. You really want to watch and hope for the SubZeros to come up in the endurance battles. Alright, Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage seems easy enough, but he can be cheap in a challenge. Obviously, he's got the green ball flame, and he can cheese those. The shadow kick you would think is not that big of a deal, but that is basically a full screen attack, and you cannot, the problem with this is you can't stand block it because it's going to push you back, and out of range for any kind of serious counter. So you got to get back to the wall as quick as you possibly can. Wait and hope that he's going to just walk into you here, and then wait for the flying counter jump kick here. Yeah, see, you can't just stand all the way at the edge and wait for a stand block. That shadow kick has ridiculous range. And basically, at this point, we know we're going to take the L, so we're just taking some chances here. Yeah, there was really not a whole lot we could do about that. So we do take a loss against Johnny Cage. Not a big concern. As I said, there are continues that you can use. It's not a big deal. You can lose pretty much almost as many times as you want. Obviously, if this were the arcade, you can lose as many times as you have quarters to put into the machine. But it's not a big deal here on the Super NES console. Alright, we got another shot at Johnny Cage, and it's more of the same. Basically, we're trying to get back to the corner as quick as we possibly can, so we can start getting that jump kick damage here. And as I said, Cage can be pretty annoying. Yeah, you think you got him down, and then you got to worry about that stupid shadow kick. The jump kick is not always foolproof. And, oh, check this out. We got green ball spam. It can get pretty frustrating and annoying with him. You can't rely on him walking in. The AI will do whatever it wants sometimes. So this is one of those unfortunate situations. You know, facing him and Raiden in combination in an endurance battle is very ridiculous. I'm not saying it's impossible. Obviously, it can be done. But these are my two least favorite fighters to fight in this challenge here. So you gotta have your timing down. You kind of have to watch for the frame animations here to see when he goes into a kick and be ready to counter it. Otherwise, it's gonna be tough and you'll be taking a lot of L's and continues here. So we did have to get our timing down, but we do take a victory here against Cage in the first round, and it's pretty much gonna be more of the same. You gotta watch for the startup animation on that flying shadow kick here if you're gonna get it. There we go. That was a tough one. You gotta really have your reaction timing down. Unfortunately, got us there. And you really can't rely on uppercuts or sweeps here. His throw priority is ridiculous. It's, yeah, it's tough. It's really, really tough. And we should be able to pull this one off. We got very lucky there, and we'll just give him a little kiss to kick him out of there. All right, and now we move into the mirror match, I believe, against Kano. Kano is not that tough. Not that tough no matter where you face him. And the reason why is because I believe his cannonball attack has a lot of startup frames. You're going to see it coming a mile away. You can kick him out of the cannonball. You can block it, wait for it to come, and then you can counter it with a standing kick, a roundhouse kick. There's a lot of things you can do to counter that cannonball. So just get in the corner, wait for it, and then it's not too difficult. So stand block it, wait for him to come in. As I said, you can see right there, it's easy to counter the cannonball. It's almost like fighting SubZero, although his projectiles obviously will damage you, so it's not quite that easy. But it is nice having quite a bit of time to prepare to counter that cannonball and his projectiles here. Sometimes he can be like Raiden, where he'll throw a myriad of projectiles like the lightning bolt, and obviously those will damage you. Not a whole lot you can do about that, but just hope and pray he walks into you and doesn't throw 50 million knives at you. And I don't think we have to worry about that too much in this fight. We've already got one round victory moving into a pretty easy second one, I think. Here comes another cannonball, and one more flying kick ought to do it. Ooh, got a little unlucky there. He's trapping us. Ooh, this could be pretty nasty. Ooh, he got this surprise victory. As I said, the AI can be cheap. That throw priority really, really sucks. And here comes our third round fight battle. We're just waiting and hoping. He does get us with a couple knives. Get back to that wall as quick as you possibly can. Ooh, and he's still getting us. This could be a flawless if we're not careful, and it probably will be. And check that out. Ooh, we take a really ugly L there. It's okay. As I said, it doesn't matter how you lose. A loss is a loss. A win is a win. So I think in this case, there's a couple things we could do. We could stick with Kano, or we could also go to SubZero, knowing it's going to be a mirror match, and knowing that SubZero is easy. I could have went over to SubZero, but my ego gets the best of me here. We're going to go back to Kano. Kano really isn't, as I said, that difficult. You just have to hope and get lucky with the projectile spam. Alright, here's an easy counter. And of course we screwed up. But it's okay. We're going to get back to the wall. We do kick him out of that cannonball, and we'll just go ahead and watch the rest of this fight. And we do end up getting it. There we go. Nice easy jump kick counter. We're just hitting and hoping and waiting. I tell you, it's incredible how you can kick him out of those cannonballs. And finally, we do get the win victory here on this fight. Moving into the second round. I believe it should be more of the same here if my memory is correct, and I'm pretty sure that it is. Sit on back. Yeah, just plain old walking back is the best thing you can do. Anytime the computer sees that you're jumping back, most of the time they will throw projectiles. Yeah, that's so annoying how they'll just throw you out of the corner. There's not a whole lot you can do. There's more projectile spam. We're going to walk back to the corner, get an easy kick out of the cannonball. We're just hitting and hoping and waiting. We're getting lucky here. We're just stand block waiting. And I think we are going to get the victory here. Ooh. Another couple of pixels might have cost us there, but we do get the very close win. And now we get into the really tough part of this. We get into the extra tough part, the endurance matches. The endurance matches can be really easy or they can be really difficult. It depends on who you got to face. Now, a couple of these have SubZero, which is awesome. A couple of them have Raiden, which is not awesome. And I think this one has both Cage and Raiden, my two most least favorite computer opponents to go up against. So you can probably imagine how this is going to go. Unless we get really lucky and they don't feel like spamming us, we're probably going to take an L. Now, the nice thing is, if you do lose on the endurance matches, depending on the character that you choose, the endurance matches will be different. The characters will be different, again, depending on who you select. So knowing this, if you get an unfavorable matchup, it may actually be to your benefit to just flat out take the loss. And again, it wouldn't be shameful if that happens. And I think in this fight, we're still trying to get the win here. We're too prideful to just take a flat-out loss. And it looks like Cage is going to go down unless we get really unlucky. And we'll see how Raiden does when he jumps in here. Maybe we do get the victory. We'll see. I don't really recall the exact order of all the fights here. It's been a while. But yeah, Raiden gets us caught in the corner. That's really annoying when that happens, whether it's throw spam or corner jab spam. Either way, it's really annoying. It's also a very useful strategy if you're playing an actual opponent here. Alright, so we move back in and we are going to change our strategy here. We're going to move in and we're going to pick Sonia of all characters. And let's see how that changes us up. And instead, we're going to get Kano in Raiden. So Kano obviously is a little bit easier than Johnny Cage, so we'll see how that changes things up here. I think if I'm not mistaken, there was one point during this video where I actually took 2 losses in a row, and I hope this isn't it, but it might be. So if it is, we'll at least get the last of our losses out of the way, I hope. And we are just going to sit on back and wait. Get some nice counters, and we got a nice little pattern going here. This should be the end of Kano, unless we're very unlucky. We do get him with a straight front kick. And Sonia's actually got pretty good priority with this jump kick. Unfortunately, she's getting caught in the corner with the spam. And it looks like we're just going to take the L here, unfortunately. Yeah. Raiden's tough. He's tough. Doesn't matter what difficulty he's on. If you can't use those specials, you don't realize how easy you have it until you can't use the arsenal, your bag of tricks in the arsenal here. So Kano's backing us up, and we're backing him up, obviously. Not too afraid of him right now. Obviously, it would be a lot nicer if we were facing SubZero and Kano. But it is what it is. Get him with a couple standing kicks. Not too afraid of his knives. Let's see if we have any better luck against Raiden this time. He's got that projectile spam, and I do love how you can just kick him right out of the Superman. The only problem with that is a pixel frame perfect attack. If you time it or you mistime it, he's going to Superman underneath you, and he'll just throw you out of the corner. Unfortunately, it looks like we took 2 losses in a row here, which is kind of unfortunate. It's not very often you see me take 2 losses in a row, but hey, it is what it is. Tough game when you don't have all the arrows in your quiver, so to speak. All right, now we're moving to Cage. Once again, we have Kano and Raiden. Oh, there's a rare appearance by Reptile. Not very often you see him in this game. And obviously, I think we all know how to get to him. Just in case you don't, it's not really important. We're not going to talk about it. All right, let's try this once again. Move it on back. Counter, counter, counter. I think at this point we know exactly what to do. It's just a matter of backing up, wait and counter with the kicks, uppercuts if you feel lucky. So I'm really not going to say too much more on this. We're just going to watch the action play out, and let's see if we can at least get the victory on Raiden before I shut my trap and move on into the next endurance fight here. Looks like yet another L possibly, which is really unfortunate. Nope, we're getting them. So far, so good. Unless he does that projectile spam, and he's backing us up. Or are we backing him up? Or are we backing him up? It's going to be a close one. Anyone's fight right here. Oh, we got him. If we hadn't cheesed that, we probably definitely would have taken the L there. Alright, here comes round 2. We'll let it play out in full. And we'll see how the next 2 endurance rounds go. Backing us up, backing us up. Jump kick, jump kick, jump kick, cheese. Give me that win. That's all we're going to do. Backing it up, blocking, blocking. Hoping that we don't get thrown out of the corner and screwing our game plan up. And again, I can't say this enough. Try not to jump backward. That's going to entice projectiles more often than not. Not a whole lot we can... Ooh, that's annoying. That's really frustrating. He Supermaned, did no damage. It stopped right in front of us, and he threw us right out of the corner. I hate when that happens. Alright. Got to get the win here. It would be 3 losses in a row. Honestly, if you're taking 3 losses in a row, it's probably just a good time to just stop the game and restart it or take a break, because clearly the computer's got your number here. As I said many times over, computer's cheap. Doesn't matter what you do. He might get you anyway. They might get you anyway. Alright, this will be our last attempt to take down Raiden here. Hopefully we get the victory, if I'm not mistaken. Walking on in. Please don't spam us. Take a note of that chip damage. It does add up. It does add up. Alright, I'm feeling pretty good about this. We should get the victory now. Unfortunately, we jump kicked him back behind us. Does not help matters much, so now it's anybody's fight. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Not very nice AI. Ooh. Not liking where this is going. Oh my goodness. Wow. Cannot believe that. Thought for sure that would have been 3 losses in a row. But we pulled that one off. Alright, moving in to the next Test Your Might. We're taking the L on purpose there because it really serves no point once again. Alright, moving into the second endurance fight. Got SubZero and Sonia. This should be a much, much easier battle than the first one we just went through here. Okay, so I love seeing SubZero, and once again, this is why. Back, back, back up. Even if he does hit you with a projectile and you block it, it causes no damage. That is a very big knock against him. I think that the developers should have anticipated that and given him some sort of chip damage to make up for that. Because other than that, obviously, the only move he has at his disposal is the slide, which is still a very nice special, and it comes out very fast. But again, easily blocked and countered. And really, that freeze really doesn't do much of anything unless you're up close. You can see it coming a mile away from full screen. So yeah, Sonia's not that tough, obviously. You can see her square wave, her ring toss coming from a mile away. The square wave is nice, but again, you don't want to be abusing it too much, or it can be countered. So here we are, backing up, backing up, backing up. This should be a very easy victory for us, and sure enough, it is. We've got one more round to go, and then we'll move into our final endurance fight right before we hit Goro. Backing on up, backing on up, backing it. Oh, see, even though he actually got us, the computer's pretty dumb here, doesn't know what to do. Did not, oh, he got one little punch on us for like minor jab chip damage here, so I'm not too upset, I'm not too concerned. Backing on up, as I said, SubZero is basically a guaranteed flawless victory here. Love going up against him here. And there we go, we got one more round of battle with Sonia, and it should be fairly simple. Free jump in. Even this late into the fight, you can let her walk in, get the free jump kick, or if you can anticipate it and you see it coming like right there, you can probably just jump in and get a free jump kick, and it's not going to matter too much. So I'm still going to play it safe and conservative, let her walk in, and then counter for the free chip damage and the free jump kick. So that was a relatively easy endurance round victory. We got one more endurance to go, and then that will complete this challenge. Let's see who we got to go up against here. We got Raiden and SubZero. All right. So basically, Raiden is the gatekeeper. If we get past him, it is a guaranteed victory. So we are hoping and praying that we can beat the projectile spam here and beat the cheap AI with the Superman into a guaranteed corner throw. Not my favorite character to go up against here. Let's see what happens. Halfway to the first round victory, basically, knowing that SubZero is a guarantee. time that very nicely. Ooh, did not time that very nicely. There we go. Ooh. All right, this should be a guaranteed win as long as we are not careless with the jump kicking. He can spam us all day long with that ice ball for all I care. It's not going to cause any chip damage. Easy, guaranteed victory. Love it. Just letting them walk on in. And that should pretty much guarantee the first round. There we go. One more of those, and this challenge will be done and in the books. Let's see if we can get around the cheap AI here. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Okay, we do take a lightning bolt. Ooh, we got lucky there, jump kicking a Superman. That's not a very... Ooh, we did it twice, actually. You can't count on that. That's not a guarantee. Ooh, we got a 3 in a row, actually. Of course, I had to eat my words. Jumping back is not the smartest thing to do, but I'm feeling kind of frisky, and I'm not really worried, knowing that SubZero is the last man I need to take down, and it's a guaranteed victory, so I can already see I'm basically in the lead. I just have to watch out for the lightning bolt projectile spam, and this should be a guaranteed victory. There it is. For all intents and purposes, this challenge is done and in the books. So once SubZero falls down to the floor, we can write this one off. And Goro's ugly mug will come up, and we can officially say we are done with challenge number 94. So it's just a matter of seconds, just a matter of time, until we can chalk this one up as a victory, with only 98 more challenges to go. There it is. We've taken him down, and Mr. Four-Armed Mean Mug Goro will be coming down out of the ceiling. There he is. Challenge completed. Thanks for watching, guys. Much appreciated. We will see you in the next one.